Hello there, Apple Bites. This is your Apple Bite. Written Ralph talking to you straight from our show here, Apple Bite. So we take a bite out of the apple and share it with you. And tonight, our pal Jason Douglas is here to talk about all the things he's been up to and the fact that he disappeared off the face of the earth. How do you do a project in secret?
It was an accident. I told you this off air. It was an accident. Look. The Instagram announcement that I made, blah, 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 a couple months ago, like it literally opens with, "I am so sorry, everybody." Well, okay. So I was like in this rhythm, right? Where the process of like, if you're going to kickstart something and you go on a round of shows to promote it, whatever. And this new book that we're going to talk about tonight, like, me and my partners in it, we did it on our own, right? Like we self-funded it and self-published it. And there's big news to break tonight about where it's going to be next year, though. But like, because all that other stuff was happening with Jane American, which is a book that you and I talked about in that context years ago when we were starting it, because of the award nominations, because of the win, because then now it's going to be everywhere and published. It wasn't like the new book wasn't just occupying, a huge amount of time and effort. Like we made it the same way we make all of our books, but I don't know, I was busy and we didn't kickstart and I didn't think about it. And so accidentally I made a book in secret and now it's out in the world and it's cool. And
I gotta say, like, it's been a pleasant surprise to see all the stuff that you've been putting up on the book. I love the black cover with the wolf in it. Oh my God.
Dude, can I tell you really quick though? So Brad Gisha, who's my co-creator on this book, and he lives in the UP of Michigan. He was the penciler on the book, and then that's his cover of our full covers. And at Cherry Capital Comic-Con, this really cool kind of medium-sized con in northern Michigan, like the only, like it's the only thing like that up there, right? So everybody comes to it, and they do this really cool charity auction on Saturday night at what they call Nerd Prom. And it's for like art education, needy kids in the area. And Brad put the original piece of art up of that book. And it went for several $100s, which is really, really cool. Whoa. So that thing looks like here.
Oh, yeah. I got to put you up. Look at how beautiful this cover is.
Yeah. So I don't know how well that shows.
Oh, it shows.
But like you can see the moon, right? The moon for the eye and like the trenches. It's a World War I werewolf book. You see the trenches and like the story is told. It's very clean. It's very pretty. Yeah, that's one of my favorite covers. I mean, I love all four, but that's one of my favorites.
I gotta say, but they're all beautiful, folks. But this one just strikes you.
Yeah. And I mean, you and I have talked before about like, because who I was for decades and decades and decades as a reader and a collector, kind of like split down the middle, right? Like you can see the shelves behind me, and there's shelves like that downstairs. That's the stuff that I like to read and reread. And then in the dingy, dark back cave where the long boxes are, that's the stuff I like to collect, right? And almost the same mentality as a creator, right? So hopefully now across 3 projects, it's a story that you want to read and reread because of maybe the genre trappings, the comic book nerd stuff, or the deeper themes in each of those 3 books. But man, if I got a chance to make like 3 or 4 really cool covers because I chased that stuff in the 1990s and still today, I'm going to do that. So like, for example, for like No Man's Land, I mean, even like the standard cover, right? Yeah. Even the standard cover is very much Mignola influence, like the layered storytelling. Like the foreground is a smaller figure, then it gets bigger and bigger, river of blood and the skulls. And certainly because I'm a 90s comic book nerd, you've got to do a chromium.
Oh my God, look
right?
at that.
Which, dude, happy accident. Talk about like accidentally doing this in secret. Like the happy accident of the chromium was we didn't know that the moon and the werewolf eyes would pop the way that they did.
Oh, they do.
That's what the chromium does. And then I know you love your text list, but dude,
happy accidents are a good thing, Jason.
Not bad, right? But guys, this one's my favorite.
Here's the one.
This one's my favorite. So this is my Tales from the Crypt homage, right?
Flashback.
Is that lenticular? It looks really cool.
Dude, better. So first, let me tell you this first. So Vince Locke, who's currently penciling Swamp Thing for DC, got famous on Sandman, Dead World, Cannibal Corpse covers back in the day. He painted this, right? And I was like, give me the Tales from the Crypt EC comic cover, and then Dave Lentz aged it, right? That fake Spider-Man, and then the best of all, I know this isn't going to transfer on video, but we put it through what we call a soft touch laminate. So not only does it look old, but if you touch it, it feels old. It's got that kind of that finish where, you know, if you have an EC comic that's been sitting there for like 60 years, the covers kind of soften. Right? And they're soft to the touch, and that one does it too. So it looks old, it feels old. If I could bottle the smell, I'd be rich.
The only problem with that, though, is like as soon as I send it to CGC, they're going to knock it down to a 7 because of the problem on the binding you got.
They will not. That's not. It's fake. They won't. There's a 9.8 coming back my way very, very soon. I can guarantee it. Well, you know what? I can promise you it won't, because. Do you remember the old? Remember the Jane American one shot, like before we made the graphic novel, and I did that same process. Cena Grace did the Granddad's Attic variant, which was kind of like that Tintin thing, and we did the same soft touch, and a bunch of those came back 9.8. So they won't be fooled. They've got minor competence going on over there. You'll be okay.
Oh,
but yeah, that one's my favorite. That one's my favorite cover because
because it just brings you back. Oh, look.
Oh yeah, there you go. Do you have? Hey, Jordan, do you have the Cena Grace one that we're talking about? It's like the yellow cover.
This is the only one I got from you.
Okay. Yeah, I just it may have been made in secret, but I'm really proud of this book. So it's a blood-soaked World War I werewolf tale, boys. And during like the last couple months of 1918 in France, our main guy, Robert, he's broken, right? He's like an empty husk of the man that he once was. He's a shell. He's waiting to become a nameless victim of no man's land, right?
Right.
And then there's this, watch my fingers, a chance encounter with his long lost childhood friends from the UP of Michigan, where Brad's from, and it brings him back for the brink, right? Like it. I don't know. It ignites a spark in him, a chance at life, a chance at long lost love, a reason to live, if you will. And at the same moment, an unnatural terror is unleashed on the trenches and the desolate land in between. And as the clock, counts down on the war, is there enough time to solve the supernatural mystery? Does he want to? Is it all his fault? It's like a character-driven, blood-soaked horror tale, because it's really about the horrors of war.
Right.
It's about childhood trauma, its lasting effect. It's about friendship, and it's very much about betrayal. So it's going to haunt you long after you turn the last page, break your heart, chill your blood, all in equal measure.
That was a good mixture of things there.
Yeah, absolutely.
In which order?
That's kind of up to you, right? I let you decide that. Like, if you want to get some chilly blood and then get really sad for a minute, that's fine. You do it in that order, okay? You get haunted on your own time later. It's fine with me.
Oh man. So it's funny. We just started the show, but that's because we've had you on, and I talked to you. And tell the people who you are.
Oh yeah,
so they can go figure all this stuff out.
So my name is Jason Douglas. I have been. This is my passion, not my day job. I've been a public school teacher for 26 years now. Give me another month and a half, and we'll start year 27. Even though I feel very old and very tired.
What do you teach, Jason?
So it's about halfway between Detroit and Ann Arbor in southeastern Michigan.
Very cool.
Those 8th graders are sucking the life out of me, but I'll go back for another year.
We should connect, because I think you might like the project I'm working on. So
yeah, absolutely, dude. Absolutely. About 6 years ago, little dream came true, and my first book got published by SourcePoint Press, a book called Parallel, a dark, twisted sci-fi psychological horror tale, kind of like an episode of Black Mirror, Twilight Zone.
Yeah, this one.
That thing, it was a riot. It dropped into There it is. Oh my God, dude, that's the very first variant of that one. Look at that.
This was the one. This was the one I got from you when we met at Astro.
Oh yeah, that's right. So yeah, that thing flopped, and then I went on this wild tour of podcasts and shows, and then it sold out, got some Ringo nominations, and then haven't been looking back since, and have made a few books. And Jane American, the middle book, just won the Ringo Award for best graphic novel in the country a couple of months ago at the Ringo Awards. The very first completely self-published book ever to win the second biggest prize in comics, which is kind of wild. And now Paper Cuts and Simon & Schuster have picked it up, and it will be across the country and the planet, in schools, libraries, bookshops, comic shops, September 1st. Yeah, there's the Simon & Schuster link. Yeah, if you go to the Simon & Schuster link, so a really beautiful wraparound hardcover and a soft cover, only 20 for the hardcover and only 15 for the soft cover. And if you go to Simon & Schuster, it allows you to go to, I mean, that gets you to Amazon and Barnes & Noble and Books A Million and Target and stuff like that. Or you can go straight to the Papercut site and get it there.
Papercut.
Yeah, there it is.
I still love Jane America because it's such a classic book, you know, from that time period, and it just has so much to it because, you know, you have that Captain America feel to it.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's I mean, look, something you and I have talked about this before.
Yep.
But you know, one time, whatever, two times could be a coincidence, but three times you can call it a pattern. And what I now know about myself definitively as a comic book writer is you're going to have genre wrapping paper, and that's the comic book fan in me, right? I mean, you're going to get your parallel world sci-fi tale. You're going to get your blood-soaked werewolf book. You're going to get your World War II coming-of-age superhero story out of me. But the thing that I now know is, and I'll tell you how I absolutely know this in a second, but I know that you're going to get deeper themes, right? Like parallel sci-fi, other worlds reaching out, offering you second chances, but it's really, really, really about the existential time passing, dreams deferred. Did I make right choices? Is it too late? And Jane, as much as it is a coming of age tale superhero story, it's really about identity and self-worth and you being you in a world that tells you something different. And here's how I know this is absolutely true, fellas. When I sat down to write No Man's Land last summer,
right?
I tried, and I mean I tried to write a 32-page, just straight up turn off your brain slasher piece of fiction, and I couldn't do it. And so what you've got instead is 60 pages of bloody slasher fiction that is, like I said, about the horrors of war, childhood trauma, friendship, and betrayal. So I think it's that part of me that as a fan that's been a fan of comics and a reader of comics exponentially longer than I've been a creator, I think it's that fan in me that's like, hey, I want something that I can connect to, people can connect to, and not only want to read, but probably want to reread as well.
And I don't talk about your first who.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Say, that's the whole thing though. Like you have to get, no matter what kind of story you want to do, if you want to do all action or all horror, whatever, you have to get your audience to care. If you get your audience to care, it'll have just, you know, a greater impact, you know?
Yeah, I completely agree. I mean, look, man, I'm an X-Men kid. It always has been.
Same here.
Love X-Men, all of us.
Yeah. And maybe we'll talk about this a little bit later, but like I do want to mention that I am dangerously close to a complete run of Uncanny. It was like one of those pipe dream things where it's like, this is never going to happen.
Never going to happen.
And I am too close to quit, and yet it's very scary that it might actually get there. Anyway, one of the things about X-Men is, you know, half of every issue is to make sure that you bought the next one.
Yeah.
Right? As good as it was at different periods and whatever, you know, your favorite team or your favorite creative team was, like half every issue of most of those long running books are to make sure that you buy the next one.
Yep.
Right. And I like to write those complete stories, and my favorite things to reread, like the stuff that's behind me here on the shelves, are stuff that for the most part are complete stories. Now it might take 75 issues to get there, or it might be a shorter thing, or it might be original graphic novel, but like the stuff that's complete that you want to reread because it's that good. And, you know, for every arc and for every run of X-Men that I will forever be in my heart, like what 2/3 of it is, I don't want to say disposable, but like you're not going back. You're not going back to rereading that one issue that really didn't do anything for you. And that's just something that, like, I think instinctively I knew as a reader, knowing that if I'm gonna sit down and pour my blood, sweat, and tears into this, because like I don't care if it was gonna be that 32-page just turn off your mind slasher or the 60-page thing that's about something more.
Right.
I'm still going to put as much effort and time into it. And if I'm gonna do that, I want it to be something that can stick, something that people can connect to and relate to. And I think that's even like even if you want to like say it's good business sense, like there's been some feedback already about No Man's Land from people where horror is not their primary genre, right? And yet, because like maybe I made a compelling pitch at a show and they picked it up anyway, and they came back to the show the next day and they're like, you know what? You were right. It was about something more, and I saw myself in these characters, and I connected, and the blood and gore didn't bother me as much as I thought I would because it's not my jam. You know,
I haven't read No Man's Land yet, and I got that feeling from what I've picked up.
Well, pop me back up on the screen. I want to show you guys what I want to show you guys what I'm really, really proud of. So this is that thing where my favorite thing to do is to talk about like the much more talented people that I get to help me with these things. And so something that Brad and I talked about from day one is like, what are we going to do this art that's going to make it really stand out? And it was not decided on day one, but eventually between he and I, and then Dave Lentz doing the art direction, and then Brian Belando, who did the inks from the Philippines, and then the gray washes. So when you're talking 1918 scenes, we're doing gray washes, right? Which is very appropriate for World War One. But what you're going to start noticing is the blood splatters. Okay. So it's like, what are that flashes of color in the most colorless war we've got is when things get nice and grisly. Okay. And when I tell you the horrors of war, I am not holding back. All right. You guys know that those of you who read Jane American, you know that I'm a pedantic history nerd and a stickler for details.
Yep. You're
not going to see any World War I or World War II helmets on these World War II guys. Now, something that's pretty intense about this, like when you see the really gruesome details there of like No Man's Land, this is not photo referenced. This is not from Brad's imagination. In the same way that I've got my day job, Brad's got his day job, and he works at the UP Body Farm. If anybody knows what that is, that's one of the scientific installations where scientists come to study the decomposition of cadavers and corpses in various states of mutilation and stuff like that to see how nature takes care of that. So when you see like an intense image like that, that's because Brad walked by that and drew it. Now check this out. This is probably my favorite thing about the art. So I told you about reuniting with our childhood companions. And as soon as that happens, we flash back to the early part of the 20th century and check it out, boys, the warm autumnal tones of innocence of their youth. So we flash into those kind of muted colors until everything goes horrifically wrong. So it's a pretty intense book, but it's also a pretty deep book as well.
It sounds like you really crafted it and you went deep into it and wanted to make it more than just a horror book.
Oh yeah, for sure. I like I said, I think, I don't know. I mean, you know, my youngest of my three kids is my creepy kid, right? She's the one who brought me back to horror movies like about 10 years ago. And when we watch stuff, I'll tell you, it's the same thing that I talked to you about X-Men issues like a little bit ago. Like there is stuff that sticks with us and haunts us, and there's stuff that's very disposable and it's turn off your brain and it's like, I don't really remember the details of it, you know, same kind of thing. And I just, as a reader, because my preference is I want it to sit with me, I want to be tempted to go back and reread it and maybe find something new. I think that's the way I write as well.
And that's a good thing, you know, because it gives you a different place to write from. And that's what I like about your books is it may be something that you maybe a genre that you've seen before, but it doesn't feel the same.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, it's the magic of comics, if you ask me. I mean, if you're going to be really specific, it's the magic of indie comics, where there isn't, 80 years of editorial mandate telling you what you can and cannot do with a type of story or a character that you can and cannot change. But like, comics are pretty amazing because they do everything that film does and a bunch of stuff that film doesn't. They do a lot of stuff that prose does and a bunch of stuff that prose doesn't. They're very malleable. You can tell any type of story, and indie is the most malleable of comics. So yeah, you can tell a horror story that's actually about friendship and betrayal and childhood trauma. Sure, why not?
But see, that's the good stuff. That's the ones that you really like. Like if it's just a horror story, it's just a horror story. But if the horror story had something else in it, that kind of helps you remember everything, or there was some meat to that story. Which I feel like these days you don't really find too much meat in your stories.
Yeah,
usually like
Well, I don't know if you remember. I don't know if you remember way back when we were just. I think we were maybe the first time I was on the show, and we were talking about parallel only. I remember we were talking about like feedback that I had gotten,
Right?
and because like there's a pretty positive mental health message in that book, even when it gets really, really psychologically dark and dangerous.
Yeah.
And like I had just started to get feedback from readers about, hey, I read this and I connected with it and I felt less alone. Okay. You know, on the surface, that book is just, you know, it's a parallel version of you reaching out, offering a second chance at a dream you thought was gone forever. And yet down beneath its surface, it's really about that existential dread that we all go through, whether you call it your quarter life crisis or it's your midlife crisis or whatever it is that tends to be isolating for you. And yet everybody has their version of it when they think time is passing and I haven't done what I needed to do. And is it too late? And there were people that were like connecting to that and feeling a little bit less alone and feeling a little bit more, okay, maybe it's my turn to try something. Like, holy crap, that's, you know, somebody likes your comic, somebody brings your comic to a convention to have you sign it. Like, that's a wonderful compliment. And they're like, oh, this is really cool. But like, they're like, hey, I connected with it like on a deep, you know, human level.
Right.
There is no greater compliment.
Yeah. I completely agree with you. And those are the stories that you remember. Those are the stories that stick with you. You know, like you were saying, you have this X-Men run, and what's the stories that stick with you are the ones that actually made something out of the whole issue.
Yeah.
You know, and those are the ones you go back to read.
The stuff that you remember like fondly is like when they take a little break and they just play a baseball game or they just eat like a Thanksgiving dinner, little things like that. And some of the great, I mean, like, Days of Future Past, as much as it's like, hell, it's 2 issues only, and that's it. And it's great. And Man Kills, it's one book. It's right. This is the stuff that you remember.
Well, it's funny. It's funny the whole because like Claremont was the one who really. So there was this like Jim Shooter basically had this editorial mandate about all the books that he put out there. Where and I'm sure this started before him too, but it was like. The philosophy was any issue could theoretically be somebody's first issue, right? Yes. So you've got to reintroduce. Now, you got to reintroduce characters, you got to reintroduce their motivation, you got to reintroduce their powers every single issue. Now, when you're a monthly reader and you're deep inside that character, or, oh my, God forbid, you're reading it in trade paperback format, like that can get really redundant and annoying really fast, right? And Frank Miller did a good job of it, but Claremont, I think, was the master because what he would do is it'd be a Danger Room cold open, or it would be a basketball or a baseball game cold open, and everybody's using their powers instead of just having that clunky, you know, dialogue where they're like, thank goodness I've got metal claws because now, right? And instead, you see him pop his claws and he cheats during the basketball game or the baseball game or whatever, or they're practicing their fastball special in the Danger Room and it's like displayed and it's a bit more show don't tell, which is brilliant. But at the same time, I agree with you because it's like those a lot of times were the moments that you remember, right? Yep. Because you know there's going to be some mix-up and they're going to fight somebody they shouldn't be fighting. Then they're going to team up and beat the bad guy in the end. And those tropes have happened again and again and again. But, man, when they would have that picnic or they would have that baseball game or they would go to the beach, that was like the stuff that you were like, oh, my God, that's so different and I love it. And it's my friends. It's the people that I read every month.
Like after Executioner's song is like, oh, this craziness happens, all this stuff. I can't even remember. What I remember most is like the conversation that Professor X has with Jubilee, like right after all of it. And it's just a conversation. But all the stuff that happened, I don't even, but you know, that's stuff.
That's the same thing with Star Trek. The old Star Trek series is all the camaraderie at the end was the best part between Bones and Spock and Kirk, you know.
100%.
That's the best part of it.
Yeah. Like X-Men, like especially Claremont and Peter David is really good at this. You can pick up any Peter David comic in the middle of the run, the beginning, the end, whatever. You will feel like you have a complete story. You're fine. He was really.
I just posted today on my Instagram on my stories.
It's amazing. There's incredible.
I just finished the Peter David Omnibus Volume 4 of X Factor.
This is just amazing.
And I feel like that's why X-Men 97 does well too, because they show those little bits and pieces that Claremont showed when he was doing the original story.
Right.
You get to see them playing, you get to see them doing things as a family, and you know, and that gives you that family feel, because they want you to believe it's a family, but at the same time, you know, there's books that never give you that, you know, that moment of family that you need to see.
Yeah, I mean, and that, I mean, he hit that stride in the, I mean, you know, he started mid and late 70s, but he really hit that stride like in the 80s.
Oh, definitely.
And then as soon as you bring New Mutants into it, like the whole vibe at the school, and they are teenagers, they're going through it in the same kind of thing. Yeah, that I know everybody's biased, like, if we're going to talk about comics in general, but if you're going to talk about like the X universe specifically, it's always going to be, you know, your team is your formative team, like the best. It's the same thing that people talk about with Saturday Night Live, right? Like your cast is the one probably at a certain age, right? That was really formative for you. And everybody's favorite X-Men lineup is probably whatever from your certain formative age when you were younger or whatever. But that, I mean, that 17-year run that he did is just, I don't know. It's up there as one of those big accomplishments in the history of comics, if you ask me.
Yeah, and that's why Claremont has that respected thing, and it's also funny because they're always coming back to his stories. They're always coming back, and the movies are telling his stories. The cartoons
for sure,
his stories, and you sit there going, and then other people get upset. I'm like, you know, well, that's because those are the stories.
It's a lot of good stuff in there,
exactly.
Right?
Not only that, he's a really nice guy.
Yeah.
So,
it's just like if you see any Fantastic Four cartoon, it's the same exact stories every single time. It's the same. They're always the same, but it's because the material is so great, it still holds up.
Yeah.
I mean, there's things you have to update, you know, so kids can get it, you know, throw a smartphone in there, whatever. But the stories themselves, they still hold up.
I completely agree.
Yeah.
You know, you can tell we're old geeks here. What do you want?
Yeah.
But I feel like you're able to put that into your books, Jason. You know, you bring that in. You have this feeling of, well, this is happening, but it seems like what you're talking about now with No Man's Land. You got this whole friendship, this whole thing.
Yeah.
There's all this other bits and pieces. Yeah.
Well, I mean, part of that, like, okay, I think there's really two or three things that are really going on every time I sit down to write. And I'm going to talk about this fairly specifically because, like, I was writing today, and partly what you've got is 30 plus years of fandom, right? And just consuming comics across those decades, right? And that's in your brain and that's in your blood then when you're going to create, right? I think that instinctively helps me, like, even early on, like even when I was writing Parallel, right? The very first comic script I ever wrote, my gut knew that this thing that you needed to see needed to be on a turn as opposed to a facing page, right? Because of 30 years or 40 years of just knowing that you save that moment for a turn, right? Or almost instinctively knowing that panel needs to be larger, that needs to be like a half-page splash, because your reader needs to slow down at that point. The story needs to breathe and take a beat right there. So that's always going on when I write. But also think about like my day job for the last almost 30 years now has been as a teacher, and for the last 13 years as like an English teacher, and how many papers I read and how many papers I edit and how many, like, my job is making sure that young people can understand the literature in front of them and things like that. And so there's like a almost like an instinctive communication thing where, no, that if I write it this way, it's not going to work. It's not going to land. It might be clear in my head, but it's not going to be clear on the page. Right. So there's that. And all that's always going on in my head at the same time, trying to make it, legible. Right. Cause that's the thing, right? That's the thing. This is a very teacher thing I'm going to say to you guys. So there's this hierarchy that's talked about in education about the levels of learning, right? And like you hear something and you retain it at this level, you see it, you retain it at this level, you write it down, it locks in more. It's one of these hierarchies. And the absolute pinnacle, the highest level of learning, is when you can take something that you completely understand your head. That is it. Mastery is when you can teach it to somebody else who doesn't. Okay. Right. So like, it's that thing where I think a lot of times like a creator will see it so clear in their head, but that does not mean it's going to translate on the page to some other reader. Like you need to like the complete mastery in teaching, complete mastery in storytelling is when something that you see so beautifully clearly in your head is just as easily decipherable from somebody who's never seen it before.
Yeah, I completely agree. And that's what they usually say. And if you can explain things to a kid, you know, you've mastered what you've learned.
Yeah. I mean, that's, I think that has been one of my, I was telling you about like the feedback that really warmed my heart about Parallel. The most recent kind of like, oh, that made me feel pretty good. Feedback about Jane American was not winning best graphic novel in the country, was not getting picked up by a national publisher. It was literally when 8th graders this year who found the book before my self-published copies were gone, and read it and said, oh, we get it. Like you've got the skeleton key.
Yep.
It's like we read The Outsiders, 4th marking period, and that's the book that the kids connect to the most because it's, you know, Essie Hinton was 15 when she wrote the first draft of The Outsiders, right? And her narrator is a 14-year-old boy. Like they get it. Because they can smell a middle-aged white dude writing teenage characters from like 10 miles away, and they rebel immediately because like this is BS. This is not how we talk. This is not it at all. And a lot of them read Jane American and said, oh, well, you know, because we had that discussion, like can you tell she's a teenager when she's writing? Like, yeah, because it, you know, I know it's like, you know, 50 some years old, but she speaks like us, and this is how teenagers think. And then they're like, well, why is this so good? Like, why does this resonate with me? Your 15-year-old character. And then a bunch of kids figure out and they go, oh, you've got an unfair skeleton key. Because you haven't matured past our age and you spend all day with us. No, they see it as a good thing. And so do I. And so do my publishers. My wife, she sees it as a bit more of like stunted growth and like not as much of a positive that apparently my brain will not advance past 14, 15 years.
I know there was a reason me and you get along.
Like I think, you know, I mean, there's a lot of us that can claim that like we haven't grown up because of the stuff we still love, but like, I mean, think who I spend 7 hours a day, 5 days a week with, right? That
keeps you young, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's like but by the way, the double-edged sword of that is like it's because you know they're going to come in, and that new group of kids is going to come in September, and they're going to be the same age as the kids were last year and the year before and the year before, and I. Truly, it's the curse of teaching, guys. You don't think you're aging, and then one day you just like side eye yourself in the mirror, and you're like, "Oh God, what happened?" You know, and it's really gross and devastating because, like, I was like 22, and now I am on the cusp of 50, and like and they just don't. It's the same kids, you know, and I'm got one foot in the grave. It's terrible. An advantage of writing for young people, not an advantage because my body is like falling apart and my brain says
I say that all the time. It's like I feel like a kid, but my body doesn't.
No. Oh God! I played pickleball. I played pickleball with my 20-year-old today, and tomorrow there's going to be. I don't know if I'm going to be able to walk.
I mean, me just coming home, like you know, like there's a gate to the buildings where I live.
Yeah.
So somebody walked in with their kid, and she told the kid, hold the gate open for that man to walk through. That man, where? Like I don't feel I'm gonna do. But it was like, man, I'm like, who? Like, all right.
That old man needs your help.
Yeah. I feel like I'm 15. I felt that way since I was 15. I don't, you know.
Oh, I know that feeling because I had that moment where somebody was like, sir, and the kids are chasing me going, sir. And I'm like, who are you talking to? It's you, sir. I'm like, oh, okay, sorry.
Or when someone tells you mister, it's like, oh, my dad's over there. Oh,
yeah. I do that all the time, though. Like, if a situation happens, I start looking for the adult in the room, and I'm like, I'm the adult in the room.
Just find a mirror.
Oh, it's like, no, we can't rely on me. Come on.
Yeah.
Oh man, but I feel you, brother, because I feel like it takes a certain type of thing to stay in this mind frame, and it's not because we're trying to be young, because it's not that's not what we're trying to do. It's just that we're in the mind frame.
Yeah. I mean, some people call it arrested development. Some people call it whatever. It's fine, Like you like what you like, and if this genre or if comics or if collecting this or that gives you that pleasure and you can find your community within it too, like, come on, it's cool. Let people like what they like.
Exactly, and I feel like you this is like 4 different projects, and they're 4 different projects.
I think so. I mean, and I think that's a testament to like me as a consumer of the stuff that I love, right? I'm a movie nerd, and you've got like if you made me make a list of like, I don't know, 10, 15 directors that I absolutely worship at the altar of, I'd say about half of them are like masters of a genre or two, and the other half are those dudes or those ladies who every single movie is something different, and yet they can do it. Like I just listened to this podcast that was ranking what they call the Reiner run, which is basically Rob Reiner's first 9 movies, right before things kind of fell off a cliff after the president. And it's like you look at those 9 movies, and they are all, barring one of them, like top of the list masterpieces in whatever genre, and all of them drastically different genres. And there's a lot of people who cannot do that.
I know what you're talking about, because there's been a couple, like when I found out they were Rob Reiner movies, I was like, what?
Yeah, it's kind of like that run. Like if you are not the person who really, really pays attention to like who's behind the film, to hear that dude made This Is Spinal Tap, The Sure Thing, Stand
Princess
by
Bride.
Me, Princess Bride, Misery, when Harry Met Sally, and then A Few Good Men, all back to back to back to back to back. Like that's about as diverse of a grouping of movies ever, and yet everybody knows every single one of them.
Just you saying them in one.
I know it's like right, like how it's right. It's kind of mind-boggling, right?
I completely agree, but I like that. I like when people are able to. But what I love is, I mean, I've said this to people before about music. If you listen to an artist, you can hear their thread through all their music, because they have a thread, and they go, "What are you talking about?" I'm like, it's the same thing with all creative people. When they weave their stuff, there's a thread that goes through everything. You can see their essence attached to it, and that's always a good thing, because it showcases that they're doing a new thing, but you can still see them in it.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I feel like with your stuff, that's exactly it. You can still see Jason as you go through all your projects.
Yeah, I hope that's true. I really do. I mean, I know that there's a lot of me in each one. I mean, that first book was me exercising my own midlife crisis, personal dreams of time passing and dreams deferred, right? And I put it into a character, like half my age or whatever. And obviously, Jane American is such a deep personal story because it's named after, inspired by my late grandmother. No Man's Land. It's funny because I came at it in an opposite way. Like this was a germ where Brad just goes, I'm like, I need something new on the table for next year. What do you got? Let's make a book together. And he goes, looks in his little notebook and goes, World War I werewolf. I go, say no more. Let me go. So like it didn't come from something inside me that needed to be told. And yet by the time I was done with it, it was a deeply personal story to me, because like I knew those characters and I was in some of those characters. So yeah, I hope that's true, like in the stuff that I write. I'll tell you what, I'll break a little bit of news for you guys. 2 little bits of news, kind of related and semi-related to the new book. So number one, we were looking at the 4 covers, right? Now, made this on our own, right? So here's the deal. if you want one of these killer covers, you have got to come and see me at a show. Or you've got to reach out on Instagram or Blue Sky or online or something to get one from me. We only made a certain limited number of them, and as soon as they're gone, because I can't say the name yet because the ink isn't quite dry, but a national comic publisher has picked this up, and this will be it'll be in Lunar early next year. Covers will be a little bit different, so these will be very much exclusive to this run, right?
I love that.
If
That's
you
one
want
of my favorite things.
Well,
when somebody does a Kickstarter, I want that to be whatever they're doing in the Kickstarter to stay in the Kickstarter.
Right, and that's kind of this same mentality. Even though we didn't Kickstart, we just made it. These are going to be 100% exclusive to you. Get them through us. You get them at a show where I'm at or whatever. And then when they're gone, they're gone. And it might be variations on that. The color's different, the whatever is different, but like this is it. So that is going to be wide next year, which is very exciting, right? You always hope that your thing gets picked up. And then for the first time, now this is, I know we've talked about this before, but the Parallel Special Edition, the big fat book, has got this 8-page story that dives back between the panels. Great. But it's not, there it is. But it's got a beginning, middle, and end, right? I mean, that book is done. We're not coming back to Landon. And Jane American is a complete story, right? It ends. No Man's Land, same thing. Okay, complete story. You're not chasing issue 2, and yet what I'm writing at a computer right there behind is an issue 2, but this is going to be the first book in a series. The difference is it's not continuing characters, but thematically, new war and a new monster. So what's being worked on? What I typed a couple pages of today. Are you guys ready?
Go for it.
Korean War vampires. It's coming. So that's something I probably will kickstart next year, just to get those exclusive covers out there, and then we'll find the publisher that's right for it.
Oh, love it. And it's funny, you were just saying the whole thing where they threw this thing at you, and I'm happy that you said what you said, because I feel like people when they're told to write something, they kind of lose the fact that they should keep it with themselves. They should make it personal. And you write what you know, but I always feel like people take that write what you know thing, and they make it into something else that is not really. And it's also all it really means is you write what you know, you write what you learn. It's all personal. All the stuff that we do as writers comes from somewhere, and as we're crafting it and making things personal, we're pulling it from our own selves.
Yeah. I don't. Again, this is. I don't want to feel like I'm speaking out of school or whatever, but probably because I haven't done enough or written enough projects to really comment on this thoroughly. But I don't know that I can do it any other way, right? I mean, I also haven't been asked to do I haven't done a work for hire thing on an IP thing that means nothing to me, right? So I can't say that 100% that this water has been tested, but honestly, I don't think I could sit down and write something if I'm not going to have that personal connection to it, right?
I feel the same way.
Yeah.
And I've done it before where people are like, well, just write it. I'm like, because there's times where everybody knows that I like to do the prompts. When I do the prompts, I bring them back to me and make them personal.
Yeah.
And if I can't do that, then most of the times I'll be like, no, I'm not going to do that prompt.
Yeah, I agree.
Or I'm not going to write that project.
Yeah.
And I have to figure out the thread. I have to find it so that I can actually do it.
Absolutely. I'm with you.
You have to find what you can connect to. Like if you're writing a character that you don't like or something, to try. And if you can't connect to the character, dear God, please don't write them. Please, if you can get out of it, please don't write them.
We've seen enough of those.
People who don't like these characters writing them. Their idea is we're going to deconstruct them and change them into something no, just please write something.
It's like, I hate Cyclops. It's like, why are you writing him?
Everybody hates Cyclops.
It's like, why are you writing him if you hate him? Leave it to somebody else.
No, just lock in with that sad boy and write him well. Come on.
I love Cyclops. That's why when
everybody. I mean, I'm talking about on the creative side.
Everybody hero. I was like, ooh.
Everybody is, and I'm just and they get you going sometimes. Like, oh, this guy gets it. He's doing very good, and then something happens.
Oh yeah. They always makes poor.
But that's what's crazy. X-Men '97 gets Cyclops. That's like the best.
Oh yeah,
Cyclops.
for sure.
Yeah.
I'm so with you. Yeah,
that is the best Cyclops. Like
yeah, they do a good job with them. And I always because it's so funny because when we grew up, when Chris Claremont was writing him, he was more of this heroic figure. He was more of this Captain America type hero, and then you started to hear people that didn't like him because he was like that. But it's the same thing with Captain America. There's people that don't like Captain America because they think he's a goody two shoes or whatever it is.
But neither of them are goody two shoes. If you read them, neither of them are. So that's what. But I don't know if somehow they have this perception, you know.
Well, Scott can. Scott can
Superman be. Superman has done some messed up stuff. If you read the character now and then, he's not. None of them are Boy Scouts. There was even an episode of Justice League where he said, "Look, man, I'm not a Boy Scout." But people, I don't know. Something about certain characters have that perception, but they're
not according to Batman. But that's okay.
That's true.
Oh man! All right, folks. Jason's done a lot of great stuff. Check out his stuff. Dude, you guys got to really if now that Jane American is on Simon & Schuster and
on Paper Cuts,
and Paper Cuts, you should really pick it up. This is a great book.
Yeah,
and I'm waiting, Jason, for this to be like one of those books that the schools are like, oh, have you read Jason Douglas's Jane American yet?
Dude, it's funny because back when we were talking about this in the much earlier stages of this project, right? When we were like testing the waters and we did the 32-page one shot just to see if it could exist in the world, right? Because that was like I was told by much more experienced and smarter people than me, like you can't. No matter what happened with Parallel, right? Whatever minor success that was and the nominations, whatever, like you don't have enough friends, family, or favors to call in to go straight into a Kickstarter that's got like a 144-page hardcover and softcover, because that's like a $20,000 to $30,000 project. Like you don't, it's like I don't care if people like you at all. It's not happening. So it was like we tested it with that one shot. Proof of concept, right?
Yeah.
And it did so well. And
it went gangbuster, folks.
And what I did was, everybody got paid except for me, right? Like every penny that went over project goal went to defray the cost of the graphic novel to make sure that it would exist in the world. So I mean, like what you and I used to talk about with that project was the immediate goal was I had a promise to fulfill to my grandparents because it was dedicated to them. It was inspired by them. My late grandfather was my research wingman on the beginning of that book before he passed away at age 99. Like it was so personal, right? That it had to exist in the world. And even though I knew that the other goal, the equal goal, was as many people to get this book with a message that you need to be reading today in their hands, right? We call it an all ages book, and that's one of the reasons why people wanted it. But all ages tends to skew younger. When we say all ages, I'm talking 9 to 90, like legit, like no joke. Like this is like you need to buy a copy of this for your mom today. Yeah. Okay.
I agree.
Now that's the larger goal, right? Like you said, like schools, right across the country.
That's what I'm waiting for.
I knew I was shooting myself in the foot by self-publishing it, right? Because like the book publishers, I'm not talking about a mid-tier comic publisher. I'm talking about book publishers won't touch you with a 10,000-foot pole once it's self-published.
And that always bugs me out. But you see it a lot, and that's why they tell you don't self-publish. I'm like,
right, like you've got to. I mean, the rule is you've got to get a literary agent. You got to get a lit agent, and then you spend a year to 3 years with a pitch, not a book, a pitch that your lit agent takes to the big houses, and they consider, and it goes through their process and whatever, and usually nothing happens. And I knew I couldn't do that because I had that promise to keep, and then. Very much just like everything that's kind of happened in my career, this very atypical thing happened, this thing that goes against the grain of everything that you're told is how comics work. And even though it was self-published, it caught on to the degree that it did at shows and at cons and on shows like yours. And it sold well enough and got into the right hands, and it got those Ringo nominations, and then it won. It's a self-published book. It beat Scholastic books. You know what I mean? And the executives and publisher of Paper Cuts were at the award show and saw my speech.
Nice.
And like they came to me and I was like, Liddy, I don't have a lit agent. They're like, well, we're calling you, so you don't need one. You know, like we made the rules, we can make our own rules.
Exactly.
And suddenly now that second part of the dream is like about to come true. I was at ALA, American Library Association conference in Chicago, not this past weekend, but the weekend before. And basically just talking to librarians about the book, right?
Yeah.
And handing out enamel pins and little cards about how they can pre-order. So what I am told by the powers that be that like pre-orders are the key, right?
They are.
You go to Simon & Schuster, you go to Paper Cuts, you pre-order a copy. It'll be in your mailbox on September 1st.
Ooh,
and yeah.
Out of the school year.
Right. Perfect. Right. And then all fall, I'm doing a crazy book tour where I've got like, I think I've got four big conventions, Barnes and Noble signings, Schuler's book signings, bunch of comic shops, working on a couple of like historical societies and stuff as well. But basically just about every weekend from September through December, I will be somewhere signing that book.
Folks, see, this is how you do it, folks. You hustle.
Well, it's fun, dude. Okay, so the wake up call that really happened was like all the hustle and all the relentless, like where my high functioning OCD dedication to stuff pays off, especially when you're doing like a self published book, where it's like if you're just relentless and go, like good things happen, whatever. I did operate under the illusion that, oh, now your book is in a major publisher's hands. They've got their marketing departments, and those people are wonderful, and they're doing wonderful things for me. But I'm still having to hustle just as hard and do whatever. I'm not resting. In fact, it's getting even more intense. So
you know what they say: the best hustler is yourself, even if you have all that help.
I don't know. I don't know how healthy it is. Like I don't know. I don't know that I'm going to survive this, honestly. But I don't know any other way as well. So. Hey, when you like December 2026, when you read in the paper that like, well, that was it. He keeled over. That was all. But he went out smiling with a book in his hand and like taking a 20 from somebody. So doing it right up to the
last. That's the way to go, man. Folks, I put his link into the comment section there so you guys can go check out all the beautiful stuff that he does. I gave you his Instagram, which leads to his tree, which leads to the both the Simon & Schuster and the paper cut.
Yeah, Paper Cuts.
There you go.
They're part of Mad Cave. If you want No Man's Land, right? If you don't want to wait till next year and less fancy covers than mine, hit me up on Instagram and I'll send you copies and I'll sign them.
See, what we're going to do is we're going to Jordan to go get the stuff.
Yeah.
Done.
We got Jordan.
And Jordan, you've heard me pitch at shows.
Oh yeah.
So like it's like a half joke, right? Like I
spent the day with you at your table.
Yeah, you've held. Yeah, Jordan, make sure I get a bathroom break. Jordan, do you know what happened the last time you spelled my table for a bathroom? Did I tell you what happened? Or we're gonna share. Oh boy, talk about breaking news here. So, Monroe Comic Con, I believe this was last year, right?
Year before.
The last time you sat at my table. For
the time I sat at your table was.
I say about
3, 4.
Well, that was like the first time. That was when I was outside.
Yeah.
My banner bent in half, and we had to like jerry rig it.
Yeah,
that was
sure did.
Fly back then. That was embarrassing.
Oh yeah.
So Jordan's like in the bathroom. I haven't gone to the bathroom all day, and I go in there, and guys, swear to God, I'm next in line for the urinal, and I step up, and Sergeant Slaughter himself elbows me out of the way. Almost knocks me down, cuts in front of me so he can pee before me. It was a brutal moment of like your youth, like you're going, wow, and hey, what? All at the same time. It was like wonderful, and I was very disillusioned in the same moment.
Well, you gotta pee.
Sergeant Slaughter takes priority over you. Yeah.
And he's such a nice guy, the Sarge.
Not when he's gotta go.
Hey, that's what I'm saying. When you got to,
it was a legit elbow. It was like right in the chest.
Oh my God! Go see the Sarge at one of these events.
Yeah, but like if you want, but like Jordan's heard me pitch before, and I made the half joke that hey, I'm a public school teacher. I'd cut you a deal. I make like $15 a year.
Yeah,
and everybody laughs, and I go, well, you're laughing, but I'm crying on the inside because it's really true. But you want all 4 of those really cool covers before they're gone, because that text list that you love is going to go, and the EC homage variant is going to go, because I printed a lot less of those. But anyway, if you wanted all 4, I'm doing a bundle, right? I'm knocking $30 off of that, and I'll take care of shipping on that. So yeah, I just want people that's the thing, right? Like the fan in me comes first, and because it's not my primary occupation, because it's not my primary source of income, this is my passion, right? I want other people to enjoy my books too. That's why I was so happy at the price point for the hardcover and the softcover of Jane through Paper Cuts and Simon & Schuster. Yeah. It's the hardcover. It's a wraparound hardcover. It's $20, and the softcover is $15. Come on, go get one for your mom. Go get one for yourself. Go put it in. Go buy one for your school.
Start gifting it out, people.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh man, folks, go check them out. What you said your next convention is where?
Yeah, I'm in Cap City Comic Con, which is in Lansing, Michigan, this coming weekend, actually. Yeah, so the 10th, 11th, and 12th. Then I'm gonna write that other book, and I'm gonna lock down for the rest of July to do that, and then basically starting last week of August, first week of September, it's a whirlwind of events through December for me.
Yeah, it's a good thing you got this little one, I guess, break. let's do quotation.
Yeah, but break until after tutoring tomorrow, and I'm sitting there going like this on the computer, going, oh, I don't want to do narration on this page, but I have to. Oh, it's been eating me alive today, boys. Oh, I don't even want to talk about it's not writer's block, it's just writer's frustration. Ooh.
Oh, we know writer's frustration.
Oh, God.
Oh, my God. We're just going to send Jordan to get the stuff from you.
Yeah.
All right, Paul, tell the people all the good stuff. Let them know what you do. Give them the spiel.
Well, I can't believe that I'm now a week out of launching Kickstarter on Monday the 13th for our new comic. That's not time. That's the first issue. No, this is Flying to the Chronostorm. So this is episode 2 of Time Enforcers. And Time Enforcers is a video game, but now it's developing into a comic book that makes learning history fun. I'm really excited. It's coming along great. I'm either going to like or you're going to hate the promo video I'm doing for Kickstarter. I'm very close to getting it done. So, but I had a lot of fun making it. It's not your typical Kickstarter video. It combines a newsreel format from like the 30s and 40s, along with me narrating my professor. Professor Haugens is in it, but the guy with the ascot. So I'm kind of fun with that. It should be good. And so I'm going to get that Kickstarter wrapped up, and then I got to build the tier page. But we're really excited because I've added new tiers to this. We had developed some patriotic 2026 250th anniversary stickers for the 4th of July. So that's going to actually be our $5 tier. So anyone that contributes $5 or more to the Kickstarter will be getting these stickers, and they're a lot of fun. They feature Benjamin Banneker, Amelia Earhart, and Ben Franklin. So they look great. They're fun. They got a great message. They all have inspirational, little taglines on the sticker themselves. So it's really, I'm looking forward to having that as a tier. We also have 5 variant covers that we're doing for the Kickstarter. We've got Keith Williams signed on. We have Will Torres signed on. We have Angel, Son of Saint Lopez signed on. We have Chris Mad signed on, and then we have Angelo Concepcion III signed on. And I have to say, they're all killer. And I figured out how to make this exclusive for Kickstarter, so they're going to be all virgin covers. So any variant cover you get will not have any Kickstarter branding on it, because I plan on selling these in stores after the Kickstarter. Those will have Time Enforcer logos on it. So pretty excited about that. And so we'll be offering those as an option. We got a ton of stretch goals going on. I'm just trying to figure out what I can give away that won't break the bank on me, but I just love getting people involved with this. So I've got some pins, I've got some digital stickers, I've got some prints. This book pays a lot of homage to what I had growing up as a kid and an adult through comic books and movies. And so if you join our Discord channel, we actually have an Easter egg hunt that'll launch after the issue launches in September, and so you can try and figure out how many Easter eggs actually plugged into this book, which should be good. And on the cover alone, there's probably about 3. Just to let you know. Anyway, Time of Forces is just it's inspiration that came to me during COVID. I just saw what was happening to kids and educators in trying to learn in the virtual environment, and I wanted to make something better. That's why it started out as a video game, and the game is available on the app stores. Episode 1, Time Out of Time in feudal Japan. You can play it in the Mac, PC, iOS, and Android. And because I had to create artwork for episode 2, which looks really good too, it's actually going to be a Galaga experience where you fly Amelia Earhart's plane through the time warp dimension and blow up guys with her Vega. It's not a Vega 5B, but it's a Vega 6 3D outfitted plane, so it can travel transwarp through the dimensions. And so because of that, I had to create artwork. That's how the comic book came about. So basically, I started emanating scenes for the book, for the game, and I said, why not just do a comic book, which is what I did. And so that's where we are with that. So next week, we're going to be debuting the Kickstarter on Ralph's show at 7:30.
Yep.
So I'm looking forward to that. It should be good. And then following this Kickstarter, we're going to be doing a tabletop role-playing game. Ralph drags me to these shows all the time, and so I go to Long Island Tabletop, which is where I was at that one dressed up. And I said, well, I can do this too. So I created a tabletop game for Time Enforcers. And I really wanted to make it easy for the kids because we're trying to make this as successful as possible. So it has some great mechanics in it in terms of basically a Trivial Pursuit game, but it also incorporates Dungeons and Dragons and role playing. And so it's really trying to get kids involved using their creativity, but also stretching their brains by answering trivia questions. So that's really the idea for the tabletop game. And I'll be doing the Kickstarter, hopefully following a successful comic book campaign in probably October or November at this time. So should be good.
Love it. Love what you're doing. Keep it up. It's right next week, Monday
the 13th.
Yes, Monday the 13th. We'll be here talking all the beautiful things about Time Enforcers. The Kickstarter kicks off at 10 a.m.?
Kickstarter kicks off at 10 a.m. We have an early bird discount offer. So for the first 48 hours, it's 20% off the entire tier level. So any tier that you want to contribute to, you get 20% off. I told you about the 5 variants. We also have, in addition to the soft cover, we have a hardcover edition. Over the past couple of years now that I've been doing cons, I've been asking different artists to do their rendition of the characters from my game, and I have a ton of art that I'll be featuring in the back of the book in a gallery section with all the artists with all the artists' information included there. And so I really want to get notice to the people who took their time to interpret my characters and hopefully get some notice once this book launches and people understand just how great a talent these people are. So I'm excited about that. We're going to be offering, what else are we doing on the Kickstarter? The soft cover, hardcover. The stretch goals are really what I'm excited about because I've got a whole bunch of stuff lined up. And if we keep hitting goals, I'll be essentially giving stuff away at that point because I just will be totally ecstatic. So
you've built up a great amount of swag, so I can see it.
Yeah, I'm a capitalist, but I don't want to make money, so it's okay. It's all right. I give too much stuff away. So it's kind of where we are. And it's going well so far. I'm about 2 days behind on my schedule, but what's sleep? So I'll just deal with it.
Well, it was a holiday weekend, so I had a feeling you were going to be a little behind.
Nah, it wasn't even that. I just, I started working on the video and just realized what all the content I had was getting too long. So I know most videos are like 2.5 minutes. This is going to be like 3.5 minutes. So if you can sit through it.
Well, it's all between 2. It's like under 5. It has to be under 5. If you want to maybe keep it under 4, especially from what we've seen from Kickstarters, it's usually in that area from 2 to 3 minutes.
Yeah, it's going to be about 3.5 minutes. So it should be good. So it's got a little bit of everything in it that I've had over the past 1.5 years doing shows and exhibiting at cons. And so it should be good.
Folks, I hope you guys are here to see all the great shenanigans that will happen next Monday, 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time for the Time Enforcers kickoff.
Yeah, I forgot to mention, if you do go to the pre-launch and you do sign up, you do, of course, get a free digital copy of this book. So that's available. So you can get that as a PDF. Okay. And then if you contribute $5 to the pre-campaign, I'm offering a set of 2 dossier cards that come in a pack. It actually has additional stuff in the pack. So the first 2 cards are Amelia and Nick, and these are actually going to go into the game as well. So if you have VIP cards and you play in the game, you're going to get power-ups. And the thing about it is, if you don't order the cards now, you won't be able to get them after the Kickstarter starts because it's only available at pre-launch. So for $5, you get these packs. I'll give you a hint. There's actually a hologram sticker on the inside too. It looks really cool. It's an official. It's an official Secret Circle badge you get. So if you know Secret Circle, you know Ralphie, you know Christmas Story, then you know what I'm talking about. So pretty cool.
It's funny. Yummy's like, I had to sign up. I need the Ralph card.
You got it, man. So you got Nick and Amelia, and then I think during the Kickstarter I'll be offering 2 additional cards during the campaign itself. I'll probably be doing Kaizen and maybe Benjamin. So pretty cool.
There you have it, folks. Go check them out. And of course, as always, we're gonna show off the little video that he created.
It's not shared.
Los Angeles, the city of angels.
It's played.
1947. The war's over, but the streets still feel like they're fighting somewhere. Something sinister. The air's thick with the whiffs from Pan's 24, all-you-can-eat blue plate special, hot asphalt, and bad intentions. Neon signs buzz and flicker, casting purple and green halos into the puddles. Ripples that shift the wrong way, like the streets casting reflections of someone or something that should not belong here. That's when you'll find me, Nick of Time, detective, time enforcer, and the guy they call when history's about to get itself into a knot. Some folks say I'm as tough as a $2 steak, and they're not wrong. But I've got a soft spot for the ones worth saving, the lost souls, the underdogs, the ones who never got their fair shake. I've chased crooks down back alleys, across oceans, and through centuries, and I've learned one thing: time's got teeth. Bite the wrong way, and it'll chew you up quick and spit you right back out. But me, I keep my rules close, my friends closer, and my watch wound tight. Because in this city and in this job, if you're not watching the clock, you're already out of time.
I'm still amazed at the whole thing.
How'd you get Nicolas Cage to reprise of Spider-Man? Well, great job, Rob.
Yeah.
Yeah, the other big news is I have this whole program for the education framework that I developed. It's called History All Around Us. I actually just got it registered as a trademark, so I'm pretty excited about that.
Oh,
nice.
nice.
Yeah, so it came through last week. So that was good news. So all the stuff that I'm doing that is associated with education, and of course, everything that I'm doing is going into the framework. So not to get overly technical, but you have this thing called Universal Design for Learning, where you get kids of diverse abilities. They're able to interact with the content. And so the graphic novel, the tabletop role-playing game, the video game, but also the education aspects behind it as well, are all built on that Universal Design UDL for Learning framework. And so we have a whole system set up where we have journals for kids to write in daily. We have provide them the ability to actually choose the subject they want to learn with student agencies. So if you're going to be learning about feudal Japan, you'll be able to choose the person, place, or thing you want to investigate. And then you go and you do the research. And then once you get the research done, you come back together, you meet with your teammates, and you pull a presentation together. And the whole point is I really want kids to be able to say, yes, I can do presentations without feeling like I have to die. So it's really, it's breaking down barriers and let them know that it's just practice. And you're going to stumble, you're going to fall, whatever. As long as you get back up and keep going, then you're just going to get better no matter what you do with it. So that's going to be the fun part.
It's going to be a blast. Folks, join us next week and learn more and see all the good stuff that Paul's put into all this.
Yeah, I'm trying to get all the tier levels together so I can start displaying the great artwork, because
I can't wait to see what you do with
the
the
variant
video.
covers are amazing, man. This is really cool. Yeah, I mean, Angelo, Son of Saint was amazing. I mean, his stuff's just incredible. Angelo did a cover. It was really awesome. And then Will Torres just showed me the cover he finished.
Oh, so you finally showed it to you?
Did you see it yet?
No.
I was going to share it with you, but I'll hold off. I'm going to make you
Oh,
wait.
fine. Be like, all
I'll
right.
make you wait like everybody else.
I thought I got.
I'll send you after the call. Don't worry about it.
Okay, that was better. I was gonna say I thought I had the info, the 911. Jordan,
got it, man.
it's
Don't worry
great
about
to
it.
see you join us. Tell the people who you are, what you do, as I put your link on the thing, because I know you got your own channel.
Yeah, well, you know. So, yeah, I've been a part of this whole Bit and Apple stuff for 3 years. I mean, I don't do much of anything, man.
Well, you got busy, so you know.
Yeah. But
I see Jason. You got to go. One last time, tell the people where they can find you. That way, they can go check you out.
Yeah. Well, just look me up online. Find me on Instagram at @JDouglasWrites or on Blue Sky or the link tree that we put in there, and you can find me. And if you want No Man's Land, hit me up online or come and see a show. And if you want Jane American, just go pre-order it from Paper Cuts or Simon & Schuster and help support me get those pre-orders up so they'll let me make another one.
Oh, that sounds good to me. That sounds really good to me.
Oh,
if not, you can get Jordan to get your stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Two months away.
Coming on, it's always a pleasure.
Thanks, fellas. I appreciate the time. This was a lot of fun.
Yep.
All right, Jordan. I think you got one more thing over here that you sent me.
Yeah, I've done a few of these.
Funny. How do you? It's like you plan it. Like every time you're here, these guys are either in the Kickstarter or they're about to start.
Yeah. So they haven't given away like any details on what this is yet.
Mm-hmm.
They're supposed to reveal it at, I think, SDCC in a couple weeks.
Oh, that's not that far away.
People are thinking it might be a fighting game. People are thinking it might be more of the graphic novel. We're not quite sure. So should be interesting, whatever it is, because I do enjoy the graphic novel that they have.
Oh yeah, they do good work, and if they do have a fighting game, that would be really interesting.
Yeah.
Oh my god, folks, go check them out. As always, Mr. Tony, what do you got?
Well, the summer anime started, which means I just reviewed like a whole bunch of spring anime. Some of them are short, a few of them are long, so they're up on Bit and Apple's page. So like there's like 7 or 8 shows or 9, I don't know. There's a lot, but but I reviewed what could I Dorohedoro, Dr. Stone. There's a lot of them. Snowball Earth. There's quite a few. So I could go over there, check out what I said. None of them are too negative. So if you don't want anything negative, you're okay. If there's something I don't like, I'm just not gonna watch it. I'm just gonna drop it. So pretty good season. Ghost in the Shell starts tomorrow. The new Ghost in the Shell that's gonna be closest to the manga is on Amazon Prime. That's gonna start tomorrow. Excited about that and whatever else is coming this season. So
don't watch Fist of the North Star in English.
Oh my gosh! Oh man, they use this English voice actor on City of the
Fatal
Wolves.
Fury.
Oh,
yeah, it's the same guy. Yeah,
Amazon Prime has the worst dubs. If they're not using if they're not using AI, they're using actors that they just followed off the street. I mean, the only defense I can even think of Kenshiro is maybe they got him because they need somebody who can go what. He can do that. He can't do dialogue. So
exactly.
Exactly. There's only one anime that keeps words in English, and that's Afro Samurai.
Samuel Jackson, yeah.
That's a good one, and it's like 6 episodes, right? Or did it have a continuation?
Yeah.
Part 2, yeah. Part 2 was good, also. Yeah, it was a good one. Samuel Jackson, that was a good one.
And then they even made a game out of it back on 360 and PS3.
It looks good too.
Yeah.
I never played the game. But...
I haven't either. I just know it was a thing.
Oh my god, folks, I hope that you guys had fun. As always, we are having a blast here showing off all the stuff. Oh wait, before I forget, and I was going to forget, of course you need to pick up your Apple Cow from our pals at Alpaca Sue's because she has an Apple Cow and the rest of the little sprout cows, and she's doing really well actually. She's at 34,844. She has 2 more stretch goals to go. I think one of them is at 40,000 and the other one's at 45,000. And dude, you got to see these things. They look cute as heck.
They're cute.
Usually we see her at Anime NYC, but I think this year we will be seeing her only at NYCC. So go check that out. And of course, our pal has his Omni Must Be Destroyed going on, and he needs a little bit of help. He's at 1,255. He needs to get to 4,000. There's 8 days to go. Ooh, excuse me. You should be able to get there if we help them out. Come on, and I'm gonna let the video talk for itself. Come on, it's big robots. Go support.
That was cool, but wait to see Paul's trailer. Lord,
Dude, I'm waiting for Paul's video. I'm looking forward to Paul's video.
He's been sitting here every twice a week watching all these videos. Taking jokes. Oh, that's gonna blow us away.
Blow them all away. You're muted, Paul.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's a big setup for disappointment. That's all I got to say, guys. Thanks.
I knew that's what you were going to say. So, folks, it's been great having the guys here on tonight because I miss you guys. Yeah, of course. You know, these are all the Apple Bites. I mean, Apple Teenies. Yeah, they're Apple Teenies because you guys are Apple Bites. And of course, we're going to send Jordan out to talk to Jason when he's doing his thing, and to get us our book.
Yep.
Folks, follow us all. We got a lot of things happening. I think the next thing we're going to be doing is next week on the 18th in Industry City. We will be at Anitomo for the anime convention at Anitomo.
I think. Oh no! Darn it! Every time, man. Every time you come, I know it came out.
This is like right up your alley, Tony. But you're usually busy.
I mean, I have plans that weekend. Maybe I get out of it. But every time I can't make it, I'm like, oh, I think I get. Nope, I just remember. Every time, it'll happen sooner or later.
Yeah, next week we'll have a couple other people come from Anitomo here. I think Jesse's doing Anitomo, and he'll be here because Jesse is at. No, yeah, Jesse will be at Anitomo because Jesse is debuting his Kickstarter at Anitomo. So he'll be here next week to talk all the beautiful stuff that he's doing, and we might have a couple of surprises from Anitomo here on the show. We'll see. With that, I'll do what happens on this show, and that's this thing over here when I press the button and this happens. You heard yummy. These are the best apples bouncing around in your TV.